I am Lynette Silva, and I have the best job in the world. I create more human workplaces by helping millions of employees feel noticed, valued, and appreciated for what they do and for who they are. A large way that we do that at Global Force is through the Work Human movement, where we bring together passionate, like-minded individuals who care about helping people not have to pack up part of who they are when they walk in the door at work in the morning, but bring their whole human self to work. So if you're passionate about that concept too, we do invite you to check out workhuman.com and join the Work Human movement. Another way that we do that at Global Force is in my role as a recognition strategist, where I get to work with people who care about creating more positive work environments for their employees. But, doing so, well, that requires change. And we all know how humans feel about change. So it's courageous people like you who are raising myths like these that will bring about the ability to debunk these myths, bring about change, and make work more human. So let's dive right in. First myth, as so eloquently put by Mad Men, you get a paycheck. That's thanks enough. Who here has ever heard that one? Maybe think that yourself in the workplace, not just in Hollywood. Just a few hands on that one. I'm glad. I'm glad to see that we're starting to see some change on that. Because the reality is, your paycheck is your employer's fulfillment of your contract with them to do your job description. That's it. Recognition, appreciation, gratitude is the extra special surprise acknowledgement for going above and beyond. Recognition and appreciation is saying, I see what you do. What you just did right there, that was valuable. You brought more of yourself to the work equation than was strictly called for in your job description. Thank you. Recognition and appreciation eliminates the not my job factor. So what do we need instead? We need meaningful recognition and appreciation. And meaningful recognition focuses on both the person and on the contribution. It communicates how that person contributed to the greater success of you, the team, the company, the customer, even the community. Meaningful recognition is also commensurate with the level of effort, contribution, scope, result achieved, and time invested. We call that differentiated recognition. So think about it. In your workplace, if you were to take 5 minutes, help me set up for a meeting, and I were to give you an e-thanks to say thank you, that feels good. That's about right. That's about appropriate. But if you took on a 6-month project, led a multidisciplinary team of people from around the world with responsibility of reporting back to the senior executives, and you returned value to the organization, and you got an e-thanks, how would that feel? It needs to be differentiated as well. And it's important to remember that all work is meaningful. Bay State Health is a hospital system in New England, customer of Global Force, and the very first gratitude moment that flowed through their social recognition platform was from a physician to a landscaper. And it was a physician telling that landscaper, though we have never met, I have long wanted to thank you for your care and concern in creating serene and soothing grounds for our patients and their families when they come here. It helps calm their fears. All work is meaningful. It's up to us as humans to remind each other, help each other realize that. And at Bay State Health, they do see tremendous results from that. In just a few months, their 15,000 employees have shared 30,000 moments of gratitude, and 70% of employees say that recognition increases their motivation. Okay, second myth. If I give a lot of recognition, it just becomes meaningless. So this one's actually true. If all the recognition you ever give is what I call drive-by recognition, hey, thanks, great job, love what you do. And that's it. You know what the natural human reaction to that one is over time? Thanks for what? Do you even know what I do around here? Recognition needs to be instead specific, because specific recognition reminds the person how their unique skills and abilities have contributed to bigger outcomes, bigger goals. And it's constantly reinforcing those bigger, greater objectives. We all need to know how what we do is contributing to the bigger picture. So what might that sound like? It's hard for me to see faces out here, but somewhere in this room or backstage is a woman named Hong Nguyen. Hong has been unbelievably helpful to me. So I'm going to take this opportunity, because I have the mic and the clicker, to say to Hong, wherever you are, Hong, what you have done for me in helping me prepare for today, from the minutia of paperwork, to travel arrangements, to checking in to make sure I was okay, to inviting me to breakfast this morning. That not only smoothed my path, but it made me feel welcome and special. So Hong, thank you. Give Hong, thanks. Specific recognition never gets old, because it never gets repeated. Our third myth, I should point out here, so Canadian Automotive Associates. I love the perspective of one of their associates on this point. He says, it's not about the money or even about getting the credit. It's about knowing I made a difference. And they too are seeing tremendous results. 96% of their 1,500 associates in 1 year have shared 15,000 moments of gratitude. And 100% of their senior leaders are engaged. And tellingly, they have seen a 132% increase in the people who are giving gratitude and appreciation and recognition to others. And that plays right into my next myth. How do you get a 132% increase? The myth is recognition from managers matters more than recognition from peers. The image I'm using to illustrate this is the one fan who showed up to cheer on the Swedish soccer team. I'm not sure what was going on that year, but how do you think that team felt? Especially when you compare it to the Irish team, who had a stadium full of their fans, cheering them on, expressing their appreciation, their gratitude, and encouraging them to ever greater heights of performance. What a difference. So yes, manager recognition matters, but so does peers. So let me ask, I do want to show of hands on this. Who here works for a bad manager? Okay, I'm seeing a little bit of side eye here, people. Let me rephrase that question for you. Who here at any point in your career has ever worked for a bad, okay, that seems a lot more honest right now. Who here has ever worked for a good manager? Great. Even those of us who have worked for a great manager knows that even the very best manager can't see all the good work happening. I happen to work for the best boss in the history of bosses ever. I'm lucky. Challenge is, she's based in Cleveland, I'm based in Boston. There's no way she can see all the great stuff I do. She relies on my peers and colleagues as much as I do to celebrate my successes. So what do we need instead? We need to create more eyes to catch someone doing something good. We need personal recognition and appreciation. And who better to do that than the people we work with every day, our peers and our colleagues. Peer recognition also aligns to how we work today. We work in informal teams, not hierarchical structures. A lot of us are remote. And in shift work, I might not even be on the same shift as my boss. We need to create more eyes to catch someone doing something good. But managers must not abdicate their role. Manager recognition and appreciation, as you've heard today, is still very important. Think very much and. Managers recognizing and appreciating their employees and their peers and colleagues celebrating success together. Eaton has an interesting story to illustrate this. So Eaton takes advantage of Global Force's social recognition platform as well as our unique way of celebrating service anniversaries. So through service timelines, we invite peers and colleagues to share memories and experiences of your time together in the company, because it's about our connections and relationships with others. So for Jennifer Sueda's anniversary, she had that experience. And then she says, you know, when I have a bad day, and it doesn't matter how great our job is or the company we work for, or the people we work with, we all have bad days. When she has a bad day, she can go back, reread these messages, rewatch the videos shared. And that doesn't make the problems magically disappear, but it does make them easier to manage, because she knows she's not dealing with them alone. Relationships matter. And at Eaton, for their social recognition approach, has seen tremendous impact. Their nearly 100,000 employees since launch in 2012 have celebrated nearly 2 million moments of gratitude across the organization. Every minute of every day around the world, somebody is recognized and appreciated at Eaton. And they've done the correlation studies to prove this is no warm fuzzy, as Dr. Emons mentioned. This very much has ROI impact on the organization. People who are recognized and appreciated are 2 times less likely to leave in a highly manufacturing environment. That brings us to our 4th myth. For recognition to have an impact, it really needs to have some ceremony to it. The reality is, ceremony matters, but in the moment matters more. Just like we wouldn't wait until graduation to tell a student how they're doing, we shouldn't wait until the employee appreciation day, the bonus period, or horrifyingly, the annual performance review to tell our employees how they're doing, to give them feedback, to give them recognition, to give them appreciation. We think of it in economic terms. What's the opportunity cost of waiting a month, 2 months, 6 months to tell someone that thing you just did, that behavior you just demonstrated, that was great. We just lost out on 6 months of them repeating that behavior again and again, simply because they didn't know that's what we wanted to see. So what do we need instead? We need timely recognition and appreciation. We need to make sure that the gratitude we express to others stays very closely associated in time with the contribution, behavior, result, or impact we're recognizing. And one way to do that is take advantage of mobile technology. Admit it, we all live our lives right here nowadays, as much as we might not want to admit that. So how can we take advantage of that to be able, anytime, anywhere, to celebrate others and be celebrated ourselves? Hershey's, admittedly one of my favorite customers at Global Force, has achieved this in a couple of ways. One way, obviously, is they've just taken a lot of that time-consuming process out of how we express recognition and appreciation to others. But they've also empowered every employee at Hershey's to own their culture of appreciation. They've done that by enabling every employee to recognize, celebrate, appreciate each other when they demonstrate the core values of Hershey's in their work. And again, tremendous results. In 3 years, their 15,000 employees have celebrated more than 200,000 moments of gratitude, and they've seen employee satisfaction scores go up 23%. And that brings us to our last myth. The most impactful recognition is really one-on-one. The reality is humans crave connection and community. And really, folks, this is how the work gets done today. Work does not get done in some organizational hierarchical chart. Work gets done by informal teams that come together, complete a project, break apart, form into a different team, complete another project, break apart again. But the relationships remain. If we're smart, we look for ways to continue to strengthen, feed, and build into those relationships and connections between our people. One of the most powerful ways we can do that is simply through saying thanks. Limiting formal appreciation and recognition to a linear hierarchical relationship is antithetical to how humans think and behave. So what do we need instead? We need recognition and appreciation that is as social as we are. We need to enable ways for anybody in the organization to step out, to encourage others and to tell them how valuable they are for what they do, as well as who they are. I love how Melanie Felix at Cardinal Health puts this. She says, you know, I see somebody doing something great, makes me feel good. So I recognize them for it. Makes them feel good. And then they tell me thank you for recognizing them, and that makes me feel good all over again. It creates this great positivity loop that's never ending. And once again, tremendous results from it. Cardinal Health has seen over 150,000 gratitude moments flowing across the organization, and the recognition factor in their Voice of Employees survey go up 2.7 points. It's the highest increase of any factor on that survey. A final thought I'd like to leave you with today. In many ways, saying thank you is the same as saying, I see you. I see what you do. Your contributions are valuable. You are valuable. So help your humans infuse humanity back into your recognition and appreciation approach by making every moment of gratitude you give more meaningful, more specific, more personal, more timely, and more social. That's how we make work more human. Thank you.